Have you ever created some work that you're really proud of, something that surprised you, something that you thought you would never be able to do, or maybe it exceeds your ability, but people aren't noticing it? And the people I mean your future employers, your potential client base, the people that you want to do work for, they're not seeing it. I mean, you're posting on Instagram, you're posting on Facebook, you may be making YouTube videos, but no one's actually seeing it. No one's taking notice of the work. The creative industry is a very strange industry because it's so different, so vibrant, and there's so many different places to be in the creative industry. One of the problems that we have is that a lot of the time there's a lot of competition for different work. So what we do is we try and get noticed by people like clients, people who want to pay. So we post to Instagram, we post to Facebook and make YouTube videos and market ourselves in that sort of way. But when you don't actually get noticed, is there a problem at all? I mean, one of the biggest questions that I get asked when I do interviews with people is that, how do you get noticed? Like, what did you do to get noticed? Was there a specific formula or a plan? It only takes a quick Google search to work out that getting noticed is apparently very easy. You just sort of look on the internet. You type it in on Google, how to get noticed, and you read down the lists at the top ranking websites, and how ironic is that they're getting noticed first. But you look at them and you realize it's just the top 10 tips on how to get noticed. Something like, just keep doing work, or something like use hashtags, or something like hang around your future employers, or do free work and stuff like that. You get these sort of posts online. I'm not disagreeing with these posts online. Doing spec work for charities is a pretty good way of actually making sure you get work in the future. It gets you noticed. Imagine back in the old days without the internet. How did people get noticed then? How did people get famous back then? How did people get work for their creative abilities? Well, they obviously did some experiential work, so they probably went and did some free work for a company. There was no such thing as Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. They went to the movies, or they went to art exhibitions, or they looked at family photos. So generally it was word of mouth. It was building up a reputation, and nowadays we can do that 10 times quicker than we've ever been able to do before on the internet. But I think the main reason why people don't get noticed online, or people don't get the work noticed, is because they have the wrong mindset. Like with many things I talk about on here, it's not about what to do, it's about changing your mindset. I used to think that my followers and my subscribers were my clients. I used to think that if I put out work online, then hopefully one of those subscribers will give me some work. And that's just the way that I thought. I thought that if I posted images on Instagram, that would be my primary portfolio for my work, that I would sort of get some good work from there. I soon realized that Instagram likes and followers and subscribers and Facebook friends are not going to be your clients. Well, your client is someone who's looking for value. Your client is searching on the internet, or may have stumbled across you before. Maybe they are your follower, or maybe they are your subscriber, but there are a certain type of people that are scouting the internet, and they're asking only one question when they're looking with the intent of getting work from you. What can this person offer me that someone else can't? Do you remember when you were a kid and your parents would not let you watch R-rated movies or play R-rated games like, GTA or something like that? Do you remember they also stopped you seeing certain people in school? Or they may have complained to a teacher about these certain kids in school that you were hanging around with? I remember that very, very well. I remember my mum and dad said that these people will be a bad influence on me, that influential things will happen that'll have a bad impact and a bad consequence on the rest of your life. Influence is a massive part of design. We are all influenced by our favourite designers and our favourite lettering artists, and we're all influenced by different people. Since the day you were born, you were influenced. There's a quote that says the average person in a lifetime will influence 10,000 people. Obviously, I've done a bit more than that, and I think nowadays that number is a bit outdated since the internet. Influence is a massive factor in our everyday lives, and also in design. It's what makes you who you are today, the culture that has influenced your life. Whether you've seen someone on the internet and you've idolized them and thinking, yeah, I want to be like them, and they're your sort of role model, that is your influence. But even things we don't even recognize, things, the way that people do things. A good way of putting culture is the way things are done around here. That's just what culture is. And influence strides very high inside culture. So a client in itself is not looking for someone who's influenced by someone else. The clients are always looking for the influential ones, the ones that can make a change and influence others. That shows a following. How do you get to the point of where you're an influencer? Is by having people following what you do. And so creating content online, like on Instagram and YouTube, makes you an influencer. So how do you get noticed? Well, I think it's simply by creating work that you want to create. I think too many people look too much at inspiration. Instagram is a good thing and a bad thing. We can spend too long on Instagram. But if you're spending more time creating something and more time creating things like lettering, videos, or whatever, rather than consuming other people's, then you're going to become an influencer. It's all about just doing it. This video is sponsored by DevMountain. If any of you are interested in learning UX design, DevMountain is a 12-week design bootcamp intended to get you a full-time job in the industry. You can learn more about this at devmountain.com or click the link in the description below.